This movie says it was inspired by true events. Whilst that may be true, they've taken a lot of liberties here, and it just doesn't feel respectful now. Very quickly, if you are new here, I like to cover those movies that get a little bit less talked about and less discussed. Just try and find a hidden gem for myself and recommend to you guys. And this time we are taking a look at The Moderator. I swear it was the synopsis of the movie that made me want to watch it and not just the poster. Promise. So I feel like the best way to start this one off is just tell you the true event that took place and then explain the movie, and I'll let you work out for yourself just how much it lines up. So this takes place in Morocco, and a few years ago there were two Scandinavian hikers. Now they were out in the woods, three men attacked and ultimately killed these ladies and then put the videos online. It's an awful and very harrowing thing to happen. These three men had links to terrorism, and that's really where the true events end. What I've just told you there is the initial motivation of this movie, but the events that actually take place in it after that fact, there's no need to base it on that. So for movie time now, I swear to God this is true, Mia Sneak. She is undercover and she is looking to take down misogynist guys that kind of fuck with women, kill them, are all okay with abuse. Total credit to that vigilanteism. Like, I get why you're doing it and good on you. Don't be a spy called Mia Sneak. We know you're a sneak. Mia not impressed. So the movie opens and she's doing some yoga in her house. It's a good opening to the movie. And she sees on the news the story of these two Scandinavian hikers. These were friends of hers, and this is what propels her into hunting down the men involved. Now, this film has a lot of moving parts. So to do this job, she goes and meets somebody very suspicious that hands her a bag, tells her she has everything she needs, and then she's to set off for Morocco. And it's from here the movie gets very clouded. We're jumping between far too many stories here for what was not a true event moving forward. Considering this wasn't true moving forward, I don't understand the need for all of these storylines. We move to Interpol and the police investigation side of it as well. There's a lot of time spent on this. Not everybody within the police believes that Mia Sneak, fucking swear to God, can be taking down all these men, because she's not just doing it in Morocco, because she will travel all over hunting down these misogynists. So obviously back at the old Interpol, somebody has a theory it's her, some people don't believe her, they've got their own shit to deal with there whilst they look into the matter. Then we've got some big shot music producer. He's moved out here because he needs to get away from the crowd. He's got some charges against him back in the States for some not so good things against him to do with women. And so he's an arsehole. He's very cliche as well. And the man that helps him just set up parties and meet new people, he seems like one of those people that knows a guy for everything. And that brings us to Keem. So we're following Mia, music producer, the police, and Keem. And it wasn't all necessary here. Now, we're just told that Mia has the skills needed for this. We don't know how, we don't know why, we just know she's got a history of doing this. It never explains how she does what she does. Now, when I say skills, like, she's meant to be top of her game, and then shit like this happens. Skills. So she infiltrates one of these music producers' parties because he's invited a few girls back to his. He gets a little bit forceful with one of them, to just put it lightly. She gets into a fight with a couple of the guards and escapes. Skills. And now she's setting off to meet with Keem and be taken to the place where these two Scandinavian women were killed, because she just wants to kill the people that were involved. Now listen, I'm so behind that, but this entire movie, the premise that her friends were killed in another country so she travels to take care of them, that could have been completely fictitious. Like, they could have made up a number of different variables to take it away from that. But instead, they've tied it into this real life event so they can put in the movie inspired by true events to kind of hook you. And it feels very disingenuous. Now, when it comes to like a true event story, I don't quite know the permissions needed to use the real life events for it, but it just doesn't feel great that they've used that as the jumping off point. It's not a jumping off point. Two women lost their lives, and it was horrific. Your movie could have been about anything else, because that was only the motivation for the movie. The rest of it, once she gets to Morocco, is just her searching down people and getting into fights. You've got the police that are investigating her as well. And then we've got Vance, the music man, and he's shown in the studio once, because they probably realised that they didn't do enough to show you that he's actually in the music industry. You just get the impression that he's got a lot of money and he's an absolute prick about it. You know, a lot of people know him, he's got fans, he's taking photos with people, but other than that, you don't really know what he does for a living. There's a lot of sweeping shots of Morocco here, and it is a shame to say this, that the movie just doesn't look that great. There's probably a lot they could have done here. They could have been a bit more stylish about it and made it look really nice, because it's a beautiful country, but instead, it's not that good. Now, whilst I completely sympathise with Mia here, there's not enough to make me like her. She's just very methodical, and she's just getting the job done. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like her after the yoga scene, but there's not much else. Now, this movie struggles to juggle all of the plates that it's spinning at the same time. They all just fall off. You know, if you're looking for an action movie, you're unfortunately not going to find it here. It's very much an investigating movie, if that makes sense. Not a genre, I don't know what it would come under, but it's an investigating movie. There are some fight scenes for sure, but that doesn't make it an action movie. There's a clear message as well in the movie, and a few characters even start spitting out stats on it about how men are awful and men are evil. Now, it doesn't lean too far into the narrative that men are just all awful. Personally, I'm not a fan of just generalising like that for any group whatsoever. So to make a movie about it and make that the clear message, bouncing it off of that true event that took place, with both of those combined, it just feels like a very weak attempt to push through the movie that they wanted. So they had to tie it to a true event and a message just to get it greenlit. Mia here though is putting off serious Uma Thurman vibes. She kind of looks like her, and even the revenge story and just getting shit done. It's quite Kill Bill. Better outfit though than Kill Bill. Am I right? So with everything, what would I be saying about The Moderator? Unfortunately, if you've got the time to watch it, go and watch anything else. I couldn't say to anybody to watch this movie. It doesn't look great, it's very cliche characters, and there's a lot of them that you're trying to juggle at the same time. I get the message you're putting forward. I think it's a fair message and there's a way to do it. But when you lean so far into just generalising that all men are evil, it's going to alienate your audience a little bit here. And then on the flip side of it, I didn't look up the true event until after the movie, and I was absolutely shocked to see how little of it actually was true. I feel like I wouldn't have given this movie even a shot at seeing at what kind of leaps they were making. And also, when we're seeing the police here, and they're pulling up various information, why is it in 2022 we still can't do good computer typing? Like, they're trying to pull up video files and different things, and they do it with just a couple of taps of a keyboard. Like, this guy's from CSI. He's got so much experience within this kind of realm, he should know how to convincingly type something up.
Skills.
But look, have you seen The Moderator? Let me know what you thought of it down below. And if you haven't yet, please do consider hitting subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and I'd love to see it. But as always, thank you so much for watching.